Hey, long time, I've been busy. I'd like to show you how I make eggplant parmesan. I'm gonna make it tonight for myself, and there's a couple of friends that also want it. They've had my version before. So I'm gonna show you what I use to make my style eggplant parmesan. Again, I'm not Italian, but whatever. The other day I saw a Mexican guy working at a Chinese restaurant, and I saw a white dude. He looked Irish because he had red hair, in a taco truck. So, hey, a Puerto Rican / Dominican can make Parmesan, right? It's not a problem. All right, let me show you what you need. Okay, so here I have 3 eggplants. It depends how much you're gonna make. You may want 4 or 5. I've washed them in a fruit and vegetable wash. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna slice them. You're gonna take this stem off. Right? You're gonna throw that out because that gets really tough to cook. And what we're gonna do, you're gonna cut them. See, if you cut the slices too thick, they won't cook thoroughly. So you want about, I would say, 1/2-inch slices. It's a little thicker than I wanted, so a little less than 1/2 inch. All right. And we're basically kind of gonna try to treat this like a lasagna, like if we're making a lasagna. All right. So I'm gonna finish up with the rest of them. Okay, so I sliced up our eggplant. You can see it's starting to brown because eggplant, they kind of react to the air like apples. When you slice an apple open, it starts to brown. So a friend of mine who's Sicilian actually told me that it gets bitter when this happens. So what a good idea that you can put into practice is that you salt it. So I'm just gonna just put a little bit of salt over the slices, just a little bit. And I don't have enough real estate up here to do all 3. I have others waiting in the wings. And I'm gonna flip them over, salt them, and leave them out, 5, 6, 7 minutes. I hear people do it up to like 10 minutes, or even, longer. So I'm gonna salt all of the eggplant slices, and then we'll be ready for our next step. I forgot to mention that the oven has been at 350. I've had it at 350. It's been there like 10 minutes, 15, just getting it ready. I wanted to show you the eggplant, how it sweated out a little bit. Hold on. Okay, so if you see here, the eggplant started to sweat. You see, it's pulling out. The thing is that, the water within eggplant, it's pretty bitter. So there are people that do this for half an hour. They let it sit for half an hour. Some people let it sit. I was reading somewhere that there are those who let it sweat for 6 hours. I ain't waiting that long. It's already, what time is it where I am? It's already evening. So we let them sweat. I'm gonna split them up a little bit, let them give them more room. I don't have a lot of real estate again in this pan, but maybe like 5 minutes. I'm gonna rinse off each slice and we'll go on to the next step. All right, so next step, we have breadcrumbs and we have a dish with egg. We're gonna, of course, I have this in reverse. We're gonna dip each slice into some egg and then into breadcrumb and place it in our baking sheet. I don't do it like I do chicken parm. Like, I don't dredge the eggplant. Dredging means that you put it into flour first. To me, this works out fine, and I've never had a problem. Okay, I'm gonna bread this. And the next one, you want to make sure that the eggplant, you pat it dry. You get the salt. Remember, we put salt on it. Get the salt off of it. Rinse it in cool water and pat it dry. All right. So I'm gonna do this for all the pieces. You notice I left the skin on. That's healthier. All right, we're gonna do all of them, and I'll show you the next step after this. All right, so our eggplant is nice and breaded. Don't worry about him, he'll be all right. They'll be all right. So my oven's at 350, and I don't have a lot of space in this oven. So what I'm gonna do is, this is my first set, right? They're gonna cook quicker because they're on the bottom. And then these other two, I'm gonna fit them on the top rack, right? As best I can. And what I can do is, I want them to cook for about 10 minutes, 5 minutes on each side. So I can just leave it in straight 10 minutes, but it's good after 5 minutes, you check on them and flip them over. We basically want to get them nice and toasty. Okay, so we're gonna do all of these and we're gonna come back after 5 minutes. Okay, why is the screen not focused? Boom, focus, there you go. Okay, so it's been 10 minutes and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna check on this. I'm sorry, since I freestyle, I forget the times that I leave stuff, but that's the benefit of this video. You can go back and see what I mean. All right, so 10 minutes, and what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna flip this one. I flipped it over and see how toasty it is on that side. So I'm gonna flip all of them and let them toast on the other side for another 7-6 minutes. You know, you play it by ear. You'll see what the other side looks like. Okay, and then I fit the others up top. I'll just you know, interchange them as we go along so that they all cook nicely. All right, but you see how nice and brown that is? All right, I'm gonna flip the rest of them. Okay, so I'm done with baking, toasting the eggplant. See how nice and beautiful? I have this casserole dish. I've coated the bottom with some sauce. I have my cheese ready, a little more sauce, whether you make it or you buy the jarred stuff. And basically we're gonna just start layering over the sauce coating. Sometimes I'll use little ones for the sides. We're just gonna start putting them in there and, you know, just trying to create a layer of this breaded eggplant. Okay, I'm gonna skip ahead to show you what you're gonna do after you do the first layer. Okay, so we have this first layer. Now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put sauce on it. Right? Boom, magic, it's covered. I'm gonna put a little more here, just, you know, make a layer. There were small pieces that I cut to fill in gaps. Here's a little gap here. Maybe I'll take a piece of another eggplant disc and, oh, here I have a little, that's fine. You can cover gaps. All right, and what we're gonna do is now put over a layer of cheese. Now this cheese is a mix that I bought from the market. It has mozzarella in it. It also has provolone, Asiago, Parmesan, Romano, and I think Fontina. Really nice. Otherwise I would have just used like Parmesan, mozzarella and Parmesan. All right, let me cover this. Okay, so now what? Well, what I like to do personally, I like to take a little basil and just sprinkle it on top. I like the flavor. So I'm just taking a tiny bit of basil. Some people say basil, right? And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna repeat the process. Put a little sauce, the other pieces of Parmesan, a little more sauce again, cheese, basil. I think I'm gonna make about maybe 3 layers. All right, so I'm gonna show you what that looks like next. All right, it's coming along. So now what we're gonna do, we're gonna continue. Do another layer. All right, and same thing. Sauce, cheese, a little basil, optional, maybe parsley. And I think we have enough, actually 3 layers. So we're gonna do that until we run out of eggplant slices. Okay, just want to show you, here's our second layer. Again, so I'm gonna put sauce, cheese, a little basil, and go on to the third. It's repetitive. I'll just show you what I do at the end. Alright, so here's our last layer with the rest of the cheese. I'm not gonna put sauce on this last layer, but what I will do is put a little basil and some oregano. A little mixture of... And if you recall, my oven has been going on 350 ever since we started this. I like to keep it nice and warm. So we're gonna put this in our oven here, and I'm gonna have it in there. Well, I'm gonna adjust mine to 3 because my oven is like blazing, and we're gonna have it in there half an hour, and then we'll come and check on it. All right. All right, it's been about half an hour. Let's give it a test. Ooh, look how beautiful this is. Wow, and I put a lot of cheese on top this time. Now my test is I'll take a fork and, okay, good, nice. It's nice and soft. Well, this side, maybe we can go a little longer. Ooh, look, right through, went right through, right through, right through. This side's a little tougher. I think that maybe I have a thick piece that I had put in there. So I can take it out now, or what I will usually do is I'll shut the heat off and let it sit in the oven for another like 5 minutes or so. If you want to brown the top of the, you know, like the layer of cheese, maybe you can, like, if you have like a broiler function, you can, you know, put it on lower heat and brown the top. But this is done. This is done. Look at this. Wow. On the sides you can see it bubbling. Okay. Ooh, man. Oh man, oh man. Okay, let me relax. Okay, I got my pasta and salad ready. So let's finally see. I will let it, the cheese brown nicely. See, I cut the heat, oh my God, it smells so good. I cut the heat off and let it sit here for like 10 minutes. So I guess I should use 2 hands for this, so I will come right back. I, for one, like the corners. If you're an Office fan, you know who said that. And it wasn't Michael. Man, see, the knife just goes right through. It's so nice and soft and like buttery. Again, I need 2 hands. Or I may not even need a knife. What I can actually do is with my spatula, go right in. And like cut with the spatula. I can dislodge. Look at that. Beautiful. Ooh. All right. Well, maybe I will need 2 hands because... Okay, I'll be back. Ooh. Wow. Wow. My spaghetti actually put a few herbs in there, but I'll top it off now with a little bit of sauce. Sauce has a lot of sugar, so I've been not having as much, but I can also top the sauce on there with a little cheese. Alright, let me settle down. Alright, so I'm done. My only regret is not having wine. I forgot to buy wine that'll pair well with this, but I'm really glad that I followed my buddy's advice about salting the eggplant before, you know, making it sweat out that bitter water before cooking it. So this is my finished dish. It is so good, and I may eat 2 or 3 times tonight. Well, I always eat 2 or 3 times. Mm. I haven't even touched the salad yet.